Okay guys, I'm back with another lace closure video, but this time I'm going to show you all the technique I use when I'm gluing my closures down. So I've shampooed my client hair, and right here you just see me blow drying her hair out. Next, we're going to get down to the braid pattern that I used. She's getting her closure in the middle, so on each side I'll be braiding down along the hairline and then to the back. So where her closure will be placed, which will be in the middle, I'm going to do straight back braids because I want it as flat as possible. We're doing a 5x5 closure, so I kind of just eye about how wide I think the closure will fit across the middle of her forehead, and I put as many straight back braids according to that width. It doesn't have to be exact, so don't stress out about that. Now I want you all to check out the braid tech pattern in the back. I have one braid going straight ways across the nape, and that's just to relieve tension. You don't want your client to get any bumps or sores in the back of their hairline. And then as you can see, I just pull the end of each braid up into the next braid to keep it really flat. You just want a nice flat foundation. Next, we'll get ready to lay the cap down. As you can see, I'm using some Gorilla Snide along her hairline where the straight back braids are only, because that's where the closure will be. And I'm just going to put a HD stocking cap up over her head, and then I'm going to get some spritz and just spray right on top of the Gorilla Snide. Right here, I'm just going in and I'm basically just using the thread to kind of make an outline of where I estimate the closure will go, because I'm not going to keep the cap over her whole head. I'm only keeping the cap where the lace closure will lay. Now, once I've done that, I will place my client under the dryer for about 10 minutes, and then I will cut the cap. Okay, now I'm back. I've placed her under the dryer, so you will see me cutting the cap. And this is an HD cap, so it's really thin. I really don't have to use too much makeup. I will use just a little bit to make sure it matches her skin tone. And now to the closure. I have this wonderful 5x5 HD closure. And as you can see, I'm just placing a little bit of makeup just so it can blend a little bit better with her skin tone. This closure was everything. I plucked it really, really well because I wanted it to look really natural. And the lace is like super thin, y'all. You have got to get into this lace. So I'm going to do the same way I would do is if I was sewing the closure completely down, as far as I'm going to make sure that I place the closure about a 1/2 inch in front of the first braid, and I'm gonna start sewing. I'm gonna sew this whole left side down first, and then I'll be doing the same thing on the right side. So this is what's similar to how the technique that I use to do the sewn down lace closure. Okay, now I'm going to take it to the other side, and I will basically mimic what I just did on the left. Remember, as you're sewing down the opposite side, to continue to put tension on it to avoid any bunching or ripples in your closure. Okay, now that we've sewn each side, since we're using glue this time, I'm going to pull the front of the closure back a little bit, and I'm going to add thin layers of lace glue. I do about 3 to 4 layers to ensure that it stays put. As I'm waiting for each layer to dry, I'm sewing the tracks in. Now, I don't know if anyone noticed, but I didn't tell you to sew the back of the closure down yet. So this goes the same for my previous video. When doing a closure, you sew the back of the closure down last. Once the glue has dried completely, you will pull your lace closure down. Don't put too much tension on it. You really just need to go ahead and just lay it down gently. And then you will secure the back of the closure by sewing that down. And then I like to use a melt band to place on top of the closure to just secure that melt. Now, as you can see, I'm going in sewing in the last of the tracks and the back of the closure down. Okay, now it's time for us to go ahead and take the melt band off, and then I'm gonna cut the lace. Y'all, literally, let's get into this lace. It's like, I haven't even cut it yet, and you can barely see it. It looks like it's already been cut. Like, this is like the thinnest lace ever. The hair is so beautiful and silky, y'all. Right here I'm going in and I'm cutting the lace. I didn't have a razor, which I would normally suggest to use, but I used some really sharp scissors and I kind of cut in a jagged, if you can see me kind of going like a zigzaggy way with my shears, so that there won't be a straight across line. You still need to do that even with the thinnest HD lace. Oh my God, look at that. You cannot tell me this is not like growing out of her scalp. Like, y'all, I'm going to leave the website below, the link where you can try this hair. I've been using it for a while now. I believe this was Cambodian hair. And the company is Crown Silk. And the website is crownsilkhair.co. But I'm gonna put the link in the description so you all can try if you want. Like I said, the hair is so silky. The lace is the thinnest ever. So this is funny because right here she was debating on whether or not she was gonna let me layer it. We used 3 bundles. We used the 20 and 222s, and the closure was an 18-inch. These bundles also run really long, you guys, because I mean this is pretty long for just a 22-inch. Okay, and now for the styling. This hair was amazing to work with. It was very silky. It had a lot of body. I love the way it held curls. There wasn't a lot of split ends, and the lace literally looked like it was coming out of her scalp. I didn't even do baby hairs. Here's the final product.